Hey, Kellen, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, thank you.
Hey, Kellen. Do
Hey.
do you feel this offense? I know there are always things you want to pinpoint and improve on from one game to the next, but is it starting to play with some of the consistency you want to see maybe at the maybe at an extended level at the best stage since Dak's been out?
Yeah, I think obviously the consistency thing is really what we're shooting for, and obviously, personnel at least having some consistency makes a huge impact on that. So obviously, feel like we've made some strides. Obviously, a unique game, not a ton of snaps in that game, but I felt like we moved the ball well, and guys are playing faster, more confident, and hopefully we can build some momentum off of that.
And also generally, we've asked you about all the injuries this year and especially with the shuffling the offensive line. Overall, when you have that many changes you have to address in the offensive line, can you make a general statement whether it impacts the running game more than it impacts pass protection? Understanding that each individual is a little different, but generally speaking, does it impact one more than the other?
I think it depends on the game and the opponent. Certainly the run game. Obviously, that's a huge part of it. You'd like to think there are a few tools in your toolbox in the passing game, whether it's some help protection, the type of plays you're going as far as the timing of them. You can get the ball out quick, but obviously the run game, certainly has a huge impact. Bottom line, run game. I mean, it's about what happens up front and how we handle that stuff, and then the running backs finding those opportunities and creases and hitting it. And I think the biggest thing, obviously, we've shuffled a lot. Obviously everyone's aware of that, but I think the nice thing is hopefully these guys are been playing the last few weeks together, uh, communicating better, playing faster together, and I think it's that confidence that hopefully is developing.
You talked about Andy Dalton's game yesterday. Just seemed like last two games he just seems to be more comfortable and the offense be able to move the ball.
Yep. No, I think Andy's been doing a good job. You go back to obviously unique circumstances coming back from the concussion and COVID. Playing well in Minnesota. The Buffalo game, or excuse me, not the Buffalo, Washington game. Uh, the Washington game, I felt like we were right in there, and obviously the fourth quarter was not what we wanted. Kind of lost at the end there, but I felt like we were hanging in there well. And then the last couple weeks, I feel like we've been getting ourselves opportunities. Andy's getting more and more comfortable. I think he's feeling very comfortable with the system and the offense and with the personnel around him. And so hopefully we can build on this.
Can you talk about the season Amari's having? It seemed like he's quietly having one of his best seasons. I think he's three catches away from a career high in catches. He just week in and week out. Last year we were talking about him not showing up on the road, but he's showing up every game, home away this year.
Yeah, Marty's doing a really good job. I think obviously, I think just playing fast, playing confident. He's had a couple of nice games the last few weeks where he's taking advantage of opportunities. And anytime you take advantage of opportunities, those big third down catches. Certainly in this game, you talk about the slant for a first down on third and extra long, and then the outbreaker on about third and 5 or 6, whatever it was. I think he's continuing to, he's showing signs of improving and getting better in certain areas, and I think he's got obviously a bright future.
Kellen, you talked about how some of the consistency on your offensive cast has affected what you've been able to do. How much different was it yesterday calling a game from ahead, and particularly with all of those opportunities the defense set up for you guys?
Yeah, obviously defense did a phenomenal job. This thing's so much about the football, and to create 3 turnovers, that's awesome by those guys. And those are awesome things for them to score, and then to put us in a couple generous opportunities after a turnover. They did a tremendous job, and we didn't turn the ball over. And obviously that's something that for whatever reason has continued to bite us. And so I think when you don't turn the ball over, defense doesn't makes a few plays like that. Obviously you're playing with a lead, and obviously you're able to play balanced football. I think that's the biggest thing is be able to run the ball, continue to be in play action type opportunities, and on first and second down, and keep the defense in conflict, whatever you ultimately want to do. I think when you're in those situations, obviously it puts the defense in conflict because you got the ability to run and throw.
And Zeke had that 26-yarder in the fourth quarter. But when you look at the dip in his production this season relative to earlier in his career, you were here for all of those seasons that he was really having those big production games. Do you see him running differently, or do you view it more as a result of the surrounding cast, particularly the offensive line changes?
I think you can just look at different circumstances. I mean, obviously, certainly there's been some movement up front. Maybe the way teams are playing us, but I think Zeke's battling. Sometimes we talk about, hey, it's dirty 4-yard runs, and those are what we need sometimes. And we just got to keep grinding it out, stay patient, keep grinding away at this run game, and like that run play in particular. You keep kind of grinding on it, and they may be 2-yard gains, 4-yard gains, but eventually you get one to pop. And obviously, when you're in a game like that where you feel like you can continue to grind it out a little bit, eventually you get one to pop like that, and it's a big play.
Kellen, it's only year 2 for you as a play caller here. How have you evolved this season through 4 different quarterbacks, all the offensive line changes that we've talked about, and what kind of impact has Coach McCarthy had with you during the course of the season as well, either game planning or in-game to help in certain situations?
Yeah, obviously, just dealing with all the change. Obviously, I think our first year we kind of had the same crew throughout the year. Not a ton of drastic changes. Maybe Tyron missed a couple games last year, and LC may have missed one. But for the most part, it's the same crew. So week in and week out, your volume could be, at a decent load just because you're carrying over stuff and you're able to work back on things the guys have done in the past. And so obviously you got to be very conscious of the volume, just with the moving parts and the newer guys. But I feel like I've grown a ton with that. Obviously, anytime you go through different circumstances, things that maybe haven't came up before, you learn from those. You're going to do things you like, things you learn from, and say, hey, maybe that's not the best solution for that. You go through that process, and obviously Coach McCarthy's been awesome. Help through that process as far as game plan or just how we're handling the in-game adjustments throughout the game. And so obviously it's been an experience to learn a lot from.
I don't know if you allow yourself to look ahead like this, but with the experience Dalton Schultz has gotten, have you kind of thought about the opportunities that would exist next year from your 12 personnel grouping when you get Blake back?
Yeah, like I said, haven't really thought a whole lot, but obviously as you posed it, certainly, we felt really excited about Blake coming into the season. Felt like he was going to have a tremendous year. Obviously just seeing what he's been doing, still in, on IR, rehabbing, recovering, training. You're excited about his future, and then obviously Dalton, I mean, has done a tremendous job. He stepped up and taken that role and ran with it, and you feel really comfortable and confident with those two guys. Obviously from a long-term perspective.
In the third quarter, shortly after halftime, Tony Pollard was at running back. He had 4 carries in a 5-play span there. Was that a point to give Tony a drive there? And if so, maybe can you speak to that decision, thinking behind that?
I think it's just balancing out workload at times. Give Tony a series there, and obviously, I think we were hoping to kind of get a grinded out drive there, and to start the second half. And I felt like it was an opportunity to have a long one there. We hadn't had the ball a whole lot, and so I think we had some run opportunities there. And so obviously if a drive progresses and goes long, or Zeke's ready to pop back in there because he's going to get plenty of the workload. But I think it's good to get both those guys going, and the more you get balance it out, go back and forth a little bit, keep both of them involved, keep them in rhythm. I think it helps us in the long term as the game wears on and progresses.
Kellen, end of the third quarter there, Connor Williams had called for the false start. Was that a case of you guys just trying to hard count him to get a cheap 5 yards, or were you looking to run a play even though the play clock would have taken you to the fourth quarter?
Yeah, that was a circumstance. The clock's running going up to the quarter, so we're just trying to get on the ball, use our hard count cadence, and try and get a free play.
And then another one here on Zeke. Goal to go here in the last 3 games. I think it's 5 carries, -2 yards. I know red zone's been an issue for you guys that you've been asked about a lot this year, but is that just a case where, I mean, it's just hard to do much down there? What would you put the struggles on the last couple games in the goal to go situations?
Yeah, I just got to do a better job. I got to find a way to get us to punch those in because, Zeke's obviously, for a long time done a tremendous job down there of finishing those drives out. And, it's ugly down there. There's a lot of bodies. And, you're looking for 1 yard. You feel confident you can get one. But, I got to look at it to keep finding ways to potentially figure out what's our best opportunity to score down there. And we'll figure it out. We'll keep grinding away, keep finding opportunities and solutions, hopefully.
I know it didn't become a 3-score game until late in the fourth quarter, so maybe there weren't a ton of opportunity yesterday. But do you hope to evaluate a guy like, say, Rico Dowdle? I don't know what you feel you've seen from him on the practice field, but just getting him an opportunity or two somewhere along the way here over these final 3 games, is that an active consideration as a coach or not so much?
Feel really confident about Rico. I think he's done a tremendous job in camp, in the season, through practice. He had his one return that everyone's seen, but he's a tremendous player. I feel really confident with him. If we had to go in there and play with him, as far as rotation, obviously we feel really good about the other 2, and obviously that's just the unique circumstance that Rico's in. We have Zeke and Tony, and we feel really comfortable with those guys, and we want to get them carries. We're trying to go win games, and obviously Rico's really done a tremendous job that I feel confident that if something came up, we need to get him a few carries, give him an opportunity for whatever reason, whatever the circumstance is. I think he'd do tremendously well, and we'd be fired up to have him out there.
Kellen, it might not be during the season, but how much do you look to other coaches and other play callers across the league when you're trying to come up with new creative designs? And if so, to what degree, or what do you think Kyle Shanahan does best when you look at his game?
First, I mean, I love watching other people. Obviously, this year I feel like, we've obviously been, I think you got to be conscious of the moving parts and changing throughout the season just because of the, different personnel. We're trying to build some confidence with some younger guys and all that sort of stuff. But San Francisco is one of those teams. I think, I think anyone who knows offensive football would look to them. I think they do a tremendous job. I think do a really good job. Obviously, it's a group that, a lot of times it's been together for a long time. Kyle, the fullback, he's a piece that allows them to do a lot of things. I think just their presentation of plays, the shift in motion element, the formationing, I think they do a tremendous job of that stuff, complementing the run game and then the play action that comes off of it. I think they do as good as anyone in the league, and something, you want to study each and every year.
And with the virtual format, I guess today and tomorrow, but really more today, how much did it change what you did today, both in terms of meetings with coaches to break down the film and anything you met with players? Can you take us through what that virtual day was like for you?
Yeah, I think still from a workload similar, actually fairly similar, pretty much the same, other than it being virtual. And you're still meeting with the guys still reviewing Cincinnati. Obviously, got the ability to do it all online, and so it works well. It works really well. Guys can meet with their position coaches. We can move ahead to San Francisco, and those guys will be able to watch film throughout today and tomorrow, and we'll be able to do the game planning still under those circumstances as well.
All right. Well, thank you for your time this evening, Kellen. We appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kellen.
And we should be another quick turnaround here with Mike Nolan.